Namaste everyone. This is Preity Upala and you are watching the Preity Experience. This is another episode from the Power Play series. Now we have a very special impromptu episode. I'm going to bring in an expert analyst friend of mine, and we are going to think that I think is timely and very, very important. And there's a billion people around the world that are celebrating this right now. So let me bring my friend on board and with our interview. Namaste, Johns. How are you?
First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me. It's a pleasure to talk about Dhoni on his birthday. So I'm really looking forward to the chat.
Well, you have let the cat out of the bag, John, because that's exactly what this episode is about. We decided to have this really in the present moment episode about the great Mahendra Singh Dhoni on his birthday. I think this is a tribute, the very least that a cricket lover and an Indian cricket fan or an international cricket fan can give to their favorite player. So I welcome you, my friend, again. I think we've had a lot of fans who have enjoyed our previous chats, and I'm sure that they will like this one as well because there's a lot of Dhoni fans around the world. So, 1981, July the 7th, in small town Ranchi, was born the legend MS Dhoni. And today, I think he's the pinnacle of international cricket. He's one of the greatest players in the world, and he really is a living legend and an iconic player, inspiration to billions. And I think once in a billion kind of player that probably we will never have the pleasure of seeing ever again, whether in India or anywhere else. Very, very special human being. And he was as incredible off the pitch as he was on it. So let's begin with Dhoni's journey. What, in your understanding and study of him, what do you think, how do you see his journey from Ranchi all the way to representing India? What was your take on his journey, and how much of his childhood and early cricketing years have you followed?
I think if you look at Dhoni as a career, as a player or as a captain, we have seen only players from Delhi, Mumbai, Karnataka, or etc., or all metropolitan cities of India. But there are few players who overcome lots of struggle. But the way Dhoni managed that from a small town to one of the greatest captains ever in the game as well. He has gone through lots of struggle. We have seen his movie as well, Dhoni's, which was released a few years ago, and he has fought lots of struggle. Even he went as a TT in railways, etc., and he played through, and those struggles has led Dhoni, the person, more fighter as a person, and that's one reason why he has been more successful. Even if you look at his talent, we can't compare his talent to Sachin or Kohli or any greats in the world. But the sheer confidence, his attitude, his determination, that stands out more than any player in the history, and that is why he was one of the most successful batsmen in middle order in ODIs, and one of the greatest captains as well. Even though he has lot of limitations as a player, but still he tried to overcome, and he overcome many tough situations, as we see in World Cup final or in 2007 T20 World Cup semi-final or many other tri-series finals. We have seen the finishing abilities of Dhoni through his career.
No, fantastic points. I think people don't realize that his childhood, his upbringing the unconventional, I guess, journey of his actually makes him be a real fighter for India, and he has come through where many other privileged players probably might not have, because you take things for granted. And I think what I see in him is that he's still that small town boy, even at the heights of global success of the game. I mean, he is the highest paid current player in the world. People don't realize that the brand of MS Dhoni is actually more lucrative than the brand of Virat Kohli. That's just the way it goes. And of course, Sachin is slightly ahead of him in terms of, I guess, all time for endorsements and earnings. However, Sachin is retired and MSD still plays technically. So from the current players, he's still number one in the world. And you have to really give it to him. I think his beginnings of his life, is all of that has only led to his greatness. Now, and you're right, it doesn't matter about having all the talent in the world if you don't fight and help and make your country win when it counts. And I think he was one of those few players, probably in international cricket, that the team could count on, which is great. So do you, let's talk about, I think, his career in the ODIs, because I think that's where he made his mark. People don't realize that there are so many records out there that are held by him and will never be broken on so many levels as a wicketkeeper captain. I mean, he's got the most number of stumpings, I think, as well. And when you look at sixes and, or his strike rate and all those amazing things. So talk about Dhoni, the ODI player. What stands out to you?
We should look at his career from 2004-5, where he scored that 148 against Pakistan, then 183 not out against Sri Lanka. Then that was the rise of Dhoni. But the Dhoni everyone knows in ODIs has been the finisher. India never had a finisher like Dhoni. The way Yuvraj Singh Dhoni, then Suresh Raina Dhoni, then a few guys like Hardik Pandya Dhoni or Kedar Jadhav Dhoni, etc. Everywhere Dhoni was the one common factor with these guys. They used to finish matches. One of the main aspects India never had was chasing. Even though Rahul Dravid, the coach, captain, made few changes, but it was done by MS Dhoni and Yuvraj Singh for India. In many series during 2006-7, we have seen those series against Pakistan in Pakistan, or others. Few series we have seen the finishing skills of Dhoni, and he was the master of run chases as well. If you look at Virat Kohli as a run chase master, but if you look at India has changed under Dhoni as a number 5, number 6, number 7 batsman. So and the longevity as well. Maybe few players has done 2-3 years, etc. But Dhoni has done over a period. That's one of the most difficult jobs as well for a batsman to survive these conditions. Even Dhoni also faded away after 2015-16. So we can understand that it's one of the toughest job to do. So that's where Dhoni, the ODI batsman, stands out for me, especially those years like 2008, 9 and 10 till 2013-14. Even Dhoni has won the Man of the Series awards in overseas as well. Even though he don't have a overseas hundreds, but he has made lots of very good contributions in England, in Australia, etc. as a ODI batsman, even in New Zealand as well. So Dhoni has performed almost everywhere as a ODI batsman. Maybe his record since 2016 or 15 may not be that great, but still we have seen some glimpses of old Dhoni during this period as well. So that's where Dhoni, the ODI batsman, stands out for me.
People forget that he bats at, I guess, 6 or 7, and there are a lot of the greatest players in the world, even the chasers. And I guess match winners, they were openers or in the top 4, and like Sachin and Kohli and Sehwag, Dravid, Saurav. And it's very easy in those positions to make a ton of runs. But I think MSD batting 7 to cross 10,000 runs is quite a feat. I think people don't realize in that position you're not really poised to make a ton of runs. That's not why you're there. to amass runs for yourself. You're there to, I guess, finish the game off. Along with winning games for India, he was able to get these incredible amount of runs, which I think is pretty commendable. And also, I think his fitness levels are incredible to be wicket keeping as well as captaining for so many years, day in day out at such elite levels. I think your fitness has got to be next level. He's one of the fittest people in the Indian team. I think the Indian team has ever seen. Again, and he's gone through grueling military physical training, I think, for that, and he enjoys that, which makes him take on anything. So there are so many things like this that I think even the Indian public, as much as they love him, even they don't understand the sacrifices or maybe just the magnificence of his mind, body, and spirit that makes him such a special player. And I think India's lucky to have had like this a son of the soil like him. So let's talk about his Test career, I think, because during his captaincy, India won the ICC Test Championship, something that I think the WTC just passed, and we've struggled to win that ICC Test Championship since him. So how do you see Dhoni as the Test captain as well as the Test player, and is there an innings that stands out for you?
I think Dhoni has done well in Test matches. If you look at, maybe people might compare with greats, but we need to compare Dhoni along with other wicketkeeper batsmen. Maybe there will be a Gilchrist, I heard of Dhoni, or a few others like AB de Villiers. Then Flower is there from Zimbabwe. So other than that, there are not much keepers on stats base who can compete with Dhoni. Maybe in future we might see like Rishabh Pant is coming in, then Mohammad Rizwan from Pakistan coming. So there are guys who has been coming through the ranks, but if you look at right now, there might be only 5 or 6 guys, maybe 3 or 4 guys only. So that's where Dhoni, Test wicketkeeper batsman, stands out for me. Then he has played some very good knocks in overseas as well, like in England, in New Zealand as well. He has played very good knocks. Maybe my favorite knock was one of them was against Australia when he scored the double hundred, and along with the 70 plus not out against England in 2007, when India was almost 9 down and almost nearing to a loss, but Dhoni and Srishant play partnership took India into draw. There was help from rain as well, but still Dhoni managed to score around 70 odd runs. So these two innings that stand out for me as a Dhoni the Test batsman.
Yeah, I think as a captain, India's been very lucky to have had him. And you're right, he must be compared with other wicket-keeper batsmen, which there are very few of. And among them, he would be the best. I think when you look at the wicket stumpings, as well as the captaincy and the runs that he made as well. And of course, we cannot forget about T20. That's really where he made his mark, I think, in the shortest format of game. He really is Mr. T20, I think. And I don't think when we look at the greatest moments in Indian cricketing history, the 2011 World Cup is one, of course, where he was really the central figure in the end who got the job done. But also the first inaugural T20 World Championship, which India won under his captaincy, and he was a young captain, which led the team to victory. And he captained beautifully, he played very well too. How do you see his career as a T20 player? And is there a match that is dear to you?
As a T20 international batsman, he hasn't performed as well compared to his IPL performance. IPL, he has been a giant for CSK, but in T20 international he has played few knocks, but the consistency has been a big issue over the years. But still, at the end of his career, he played few knocks. But one innings that stand out for me will be the semi-final final knock against Australia in 2007, when Yuvraj Singh and Dhoni put together almost a match-winning partnership. He scored around 30 plus. And if you look at the 2007 T20 World Cup, he was the second highest run getter for India. After Gautam Gambhir, he scored around 150 plus runs in that tournament. So people might not remember that. People used to remember those knocks by Yuvraj Singh against England, Australia, then Gambhir's knock in these finals, etc. But Dhoni has played a crucial part. But if you look at his overall T20 international career, he has been bit quiet apart from few years. While we compare with the IPL stats, IPL he has been a giant. He has been the best wicketkeeper batsman in IPL history and one of the best lower order batsmen IPL ever had as well. Even he used to smash bowlers in the last IPL. Before the UAE edition, he used to do that
Yes.
for CSK. So as a T20 international, he hasn't been that well compared to IPL.
Which brings us to IPL, and I really think that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is Mr. IPL, and in many ways, CSK is IPL as well, and I think he is the reason for that. I think the kind of love that and respect that he shares within the IPL fans around the world, including non-Indian fans, I think is second to none. And CSK as a franchise is the most popular, I think, on social media, digitally for sure in terms of their fan base. I think they have the most impassioned fan bases or fan base in the world. And we look at franchises around the world. CSK is the only Indian franchise and the only, I think, cricketing franchise that made it to the top 10 in the world. And we are competing with the biggest soccer clubs at this point. So for them to make that cut, is enormous. And that it's kudos, really, it's kudos to him. And he's done phenomenally well for CSK. And we hope that he's not going to be retiring anytime soon. But I would just like to throw the wish out there that before he finally hangs up his boots for CSK, I'd like to see them win the championship just for his sakes. I think he deserves that. Now, how do you see him as an IPL player, specifically for CSK? How has he transformed CSK? And also, is there a particular championship final, maybe, or an IPL final or an IPL game that you think was his best, or one that you loved most of his?
IPL, he has been, as I said earlier, IPL, he has been a giant, not only for CSK, for the whole league. The way he has been performing over the years, from 2008, he has been one of the most consistent batsmen in IPL history as well. And coming to one game, I would like to say the 2018 IPL final, even though he didn't bat, but after the 2 year ban, CSK coming back and winning the title, that was fantastic moment. And his performance would be against Punjab in 2010 in Dharmashala, where he smacked a 22 ball 50 and winning the game for CSK and helping them to qualify into the playoff. That was one of the best moments as a Dhoni fan or as a CSK fan in the IPL history. So he has been performing, even though he has been bit down in 2020 and 21. But still, if you look at his career from 2008, he has been, even if you look at the 2019 IPL season, he was almost at the near end of his career. But the way he performed for CSK that season, he was literally a one-man army through the league stage. He was driving the CSK car, if you want to say, the 2019 IPL season. So he has been doing this for over a decade. So I hope he'll be playing, as you said earlier, he will be mostly playing the 2022 season as well. He'll be looking forward to retire in front of a massive Chepo crowd. So hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah, I think that's the dream that maybe every CSK fan has, and it won't be 2021, but it might be 2022. So let's hope that for him. And I just think that, I mean, we have our greats. We've got Kapil Dev, Sachin Tendulkar, of course, but I think the level of love and reverence that he has managed to get over his career internationally is probably second to none. I think, I mean, even players like Kohli, as great as they are, they have a love and hate. The fans have a love and hate relationship with players like that. Even Saurav Ganguly maybe a little bit too, where you got fans, but you got your detractors too. But when you look at an MSD, I don't think I've ever met anyone in my life who dislikes him that much. And there's obviously most people are in awe of him, including a lot of international players. And I think many, many pundits and ex-players will have him as the captain and the keeper for their all-time playing 11 for ODI, T20, and IPL, and a few even for Test, which is remarkable. And I think to have sort of that global acceptance, recognition, and reverence is really special. But tell me, what do you think it is about his personality that is endearing? Why do people love MSD so much?
I think he makes players more comfortable. If you look at the likes of Hardik Pandya, Bumrahs, they were young when they came to the side. So Dhoni made that comfort zone into the side. That's the one thing youngsters like about MS Dhoni when they praise as well, or else when they tweet about MS Dhoni or etc. That he has made that comfort zone for youngsters, especially a captain. Any captain, if you look at the transition phase, will be one of the most difficult job for a captain, and Dhoni has done that transition phase. Even though he has made few mistakes, but still the transition phase was smooth for the future, and he made a couple of brilliant decisions as well, like sending Rohit Sharma as an opener or bringing few players here and there, and the regroup was really faced well, and that's one reason why India won that 2013 Champions Trophy. Even though in Test cricket, India went through that struggle in 2000 from 2011 to 14 phase, but still in ODI format, India used to fight hard. Even though they lost a few series, but still they used to fight hard. They used to do well in ICC tournaments. If you look at India was going through a tough phase, but in the 2015 ODI World Cup, India won 7 consecutive matches, winning all the matches in group stage, then winning the quarterfinal, only lost to Australia in the semis, who was the favorite in the World Cup. So India has done well in ICC tournaments under Dhoni, even though they were going through that tough phase in bilateral series. That leadership quality, the comfort zone he brings to the table, and the calmness under pressure as well. We have seen how well he has been finishing the matches as a captain or as a player for different teams like India or CSK or anyone. Even for Rising Pune Super Giants, when he was in the captain in 2017, he played a very good knock in one of the qualifiers against Mumbai Indians. So that all comes into this talking where he has done so well as a player. So and moreover, he is a team player. That's the one reason everyone likes him. So, and the relationship between like Virat Kohli or Dhoni, we have seen the relationship between both of them. It's not easy. Once you step down as a captain, and to play under any other captain, it's not easy, especially a youngster like any other player. So, and you need to see the relationship of Dhoni and Virat Kohli, the mutual understanding. So, this all comes into how well you have been going through the career, the respect others have on you, etc.
Wonderful. He will go down as India's greatest captain. I would argue that he's probably the best captain in cricket in history, at least in the shorter format. Definitely the best wicket keeper captain, no, hands down, no doubts about that. And I think under his captaincy, we won all the 3 ICC championship trophies. I don't see India winning those 3 championship trophies anytime soon. I think we might have to wait a while. Maybe under the captaincy of Rishabh Pant, that might be a reality. I don't see it happening in the next few years though, because you need so many things to go right for you. He was also a very lucky captain. I think he got the best out of his players who really performed in those crucial moments. things went his way for sure. And then finally, your view of MSD as a patriot, as a proud Indian citizen, and maybe what he has done for the social fabric of India. So beyond playing cricket, but as a human being, and he's obviously very proud supporter of the army. And how do you see him as a cricket fan? How do you see someone being so vocally supportive of the Indian army and of India in general as a country?
I think he hasn't been open to public much. If you look at last few years, he hasn't been active in social media like any other player. Most of the players has been active. If you look at Dhoni, he rarely tweets or he rarely put posts in Instagram. So he hasn't been that open to public. He just went to his spaces like his home at Ranji, or he used to go to his farmhouse. So this has been his life apart from cricket. So I think he hasn't been that open to public or to the fans as well. I don't know more about Dhoni as a patriot or something. As you told, he has been more supportive to army. He has gone to army services, etc. But still, as a person, it's tough to judge Dhoni mainly because he hasn't been that open. Even he don't come to interviews as well. If you look at this generation, every cricketer used to go to interviews or give interviews to YouTube channels or journalists or even news websites, etc. But I haven't seen a Dhoni interview. I can't remember a Dhoni interview for a longer period. Maybe he has done in 2015 or 14, but in last 2 3 years, I haven't seen a Dhoni interview in any website.
Well, you're absolutely right. I think he's probably the most elusive cricketing legend ever. Even the other great Sir Vivian Richards, Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar, they give plenty of interviews. I myself had the pleasure of interviewing Sir Vivian Richards once on a TV show from in the Caribbean, one of the greatest. And, he's out there and sharing his wisdom. And you see all the other legends, they regularly appear. But the ironic thing is, even though MSD is not on Twitter much, he's probably the most, he trends a lot. During IPL, every day CSK was trending number one, even when they were not playing, even when RCB was winning or other teams were winning. I mean, it had more tweets. I think it's remarkable, and there are a lot of fan clubs and a lot of MSDNs on Twitter, I would say, and Insta, YouTube, and then you'll get a kick out of this. But there are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos of especially his keeping skills, and American audiences will watch it and react to it, and they're blown away. They're like, we heard about this Indian player called MS Dhoni, and we are here to check out his skills. And then in real time, they basically watch him keep and stump. And these people some of them are like ex-athletes, they play baseball, basketball, football, and they're like just blown away that he can do what he does. And I think to see the rest of the world just be enamored by his skills, pretty special, I think, because they don't do that I don't think they've ever done that for other players. So, I think he's a treasure. He's a gem. I hope one day he'll get the Bharat Ratna. He definitely deserves it. And so, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, happy birthday. And we wish you have, many happy returns of the day with your family, your wife and your daughter. And I hope that all your dreams come true for India, for CSK, for yourself, for your personal life. And just know that there's 1.4 billion people who want to wish you happy birthday. And there are many more also not from India who also would like to wish you. I hope you have the best day of your life so far. Is there anything you would like to say? Birthday greetings for the great MSD.
Nothing more. I have said earlier my memories, etc. It has been a long journey. Especially, I started watching cricket from 2004-5, and that time Dhoni started his career as well in 2004. So has got a great opportunity to follow his career through 15 years playing for India, CSK, and other teams as well. So it has been a great journey. I really hope he'll be playing one or two more years for CSK as well. So I wish him hopefully a great happy birthday and winning a title for CSK in the UAE leg in September, October?
Well, if CSK wins this year, that will be the best birthday gift for him and a great tribute for him. And I hope that happens this year. I think they have a great chance. They have a great shot. If not, I think 2022, they're looking solid as well, because obviously the old CSK is back. And they're looking phenomenal. So, I think he's going to get a lot of love from a billion people today, and rightfully deserved. I hope he savors every moment. And in my life, if I ever got a chance to interview anyone, it would be him, because how elusive he is. It's very endearing, and it makes somebody very attractive as a candidate for an interview as well. So I hope my dream comes true one day to have a conversation with him. And if I ever get the chance to do that, I won't bring up cricket at all. I'll talk about his love for bikes, for fighter planes, for about India, and all those wonderful things, which I think he actually would open up about. And I think that would be a much more fascinating conversation than just cricket talk. So thank you, my friend John. It's always a pleasure to share discussions on cricket with you, and we look forward to bringing you many more great episodes. So thank you again for being on my show. And guys, thank you for your support. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Please consider joining as a member. Thank you for your continued support for the Preity Experience. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Do circulate to everybody. Please take care of yourself. Stay strong, stay safe. India together, and we'll get there. We're almost there. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. Dhanyawad. Thank you.